What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Cold Blooded Conversation. It's your boy Wally. I hope everybody's having a good night. What's going on, guys? Um, just figured to jump on here tonight and get the ball rolling with another show. So sorry about that. Yeah, and, tonight I want to talk about uh, some movies and everything else that deals with animals that made things famous. And what I kind of liked about them and everything else, and just kind of talk about that and stuff. So we'll get there and hopefully we'll get stuff rolling and everything. Give me 1 second here. Sorry about that, guys. Touched the wrong button on my laptop and everything else. And no, actually, a couple movies that I got. Hold on 1 second here. What's up, Johnny?
Good to see you, brother. How are we?
Good, man. How you doing tonight? What's up, Glick?
Good, good.
All right. Well, tonight, like I said in the thing, let's talk about some. Since we're doing cold-blooded conversations, let's talk about some of our movies and stuff that deals with like our favorite movies that have animals and stuff in them. I figured that'd be something cool that we could talk about tonight. By the
Oh, yeah.
way, everybody, just to let you know, when he's available and everything else, Thursday nights I'm gonna have, and probably Mondays, but mostly Thursday nights I'm gonna have my boy Johnny up here with me as a co-host. Even when I get a guest or anything, but I threw the invite out to him to help co-host and stuff because we got the same interest in animals and hobby-wise that stuff. So I figured I asked him if he would do it, and he said whenever he's available, he'd be more than happy. So, guys,
Well,
Johnny is now going to be part of the Cold Blooded Conversation Thursday night show with me as my co-host. So, um,
I much appreciate it.
oh, no problem, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, just some dude. Yeah, he did. But yeah, so yeah, tonight I figured kind of change it up a little bit with the animals and stuff since it's an open thing with animals instead of just reptiles. Figured we'd talk some uh, of our favorite movies and things about certain animals that kind of got us uh, liking the movies and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So one of my favorites, just because it's a reptile movie and everything else, I do like the original Anaconda with Ice Cube and J-Lo. That is also one of those movies back in the day that, let alone everything else going on, that Hollywood put a lot of the fear in people over snakes and stuff. So I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's one of those deals. So I did, Glick. You can suck it.
Hi, Greg. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that was, I mean it kind of had the concept of the size and everything of an anaconda. I mean, they are
Hell yeah.
the world. One of the world's. They are the world's largest, heaviest snakes. They may not be the longest, but I just like the layout, the way they did everything, and in the Amazon of that movie. Um,
Hell yeah.
it, it it was a good movie to an extent, but it, of course, Hollywood and their twist on things.
Right?
I mean, they do have it where people have been attacked, but not by something that ginormous. So what? And then a couple other ones. Really not reptile related. I like Deep Blue Sea, where they were doing that underground with those experimental sharks. That was pretty badass. So
Along the
what? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say along the lines of, but you're right, kind of outside the quarry a little bit. Gremlins.
Yeah. Well, yeah. True. Yeah, that's another one. Especially the way that they were produced and everything else. I mean, I guess you could say. I mean,
Oh yeah.
what's up, Robert Platinum? Another one that you could look at too. You want to think about it, kind of the way they were done. You got to look at the Alien and the Predator movies too. I mean, come on. Predator
Oh,
was
for
Predator.
real.
You got to admit, Predator's like a mixture of everything because
Yeah.
he, he's he's got the heat-seeking signatures of reptile and everything else, and I mean, just something different. You know what I mean? But what's a couple of your favorite movies? That involved animals and stuff in it.
Mm, shit. Well, you said the that classic Anaconda movie. I loved it.
Oh,
Loved it.
like I said
I
with
mean,
that one, Hollywood kind of, you know how Hollywood is with things, put their stuff. So,
well, indeed. See, that's actually kind of why I liked it because it was interesting to see Hollywood's take on something that, well, is very real out in the wild and is a real concept. It was interesting to
right,
see what Hollywood did with that.
right. But at the same time, I mean, it gives you an idea of actually how those things, why they're one of the ultimate predators of the Amazon. You
Indeed.
know.
Indeed.
So, but yeah, I mean that was good. But yeah, they did great. I mean, it's just like I said, Hollywood had their little twist on it.
Oh, indeed.
What's what are your other ones that were, got piqued your interest? That's deals with you know animals and everything else, man.
See, I'm trying to think of the name of it. Fuck. Um. That's the one I was thinking of. Remember the movie? Well, two of them. One is Lake Placid.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was a badass movie too. They should have just left it alone after the second one. That's another one that they just kind of
Oh,
continued
indeed.
on and overkilled it. But yeah, the first one was great,
It
especially Betty
continued where
White.
it didn't need to.
Yeah. But the sad part is there's honestly over in Australia, you got your saltwater crocs. I mean, those things can get huge, not like that big, but I mean, they're huge. They're the largest crocodilian in the planet, and they are known to attack humans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so I mean, but yeah, Lake Placid. I mean, just the way they set that up. I mean, it gives the proper hunting technique, the stealthness of them, and everything else. So I mean, on that aspect, I mean, they hit what a crocodile or an alligator or anything like that, and that family would end up
right.
doing. So other than being Hollywood, but yeah, that was Lake Placid was another good one. That was definitely
That's
a good
great.
one.
One that's a little bit along those lines, but I don't remember as much of, is the movie Rogue.
That was different. That was kind of one of those ones you had to have an acquired taste for. I thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I remember about it. It was something a
Right.
little bit different.
Well, another good example of how it worked, and yeah, it was a Hollywood one. Congo was another good one from back in the day,
Oh,
with how the gorillas and primates worked together. I mean, that just showed some of their stuff. Um,
I haven't heard about that
it,
movie in a
it
while.
I just thought of it. I was like, man,
Hell yeah.
oh yeah, Brittany's right. Right here we go. This is the. You are right. That is one of the classic movies. Jaws.
Ooh.
You cannot go wrong when you're talking Hollywood animals. Is Jaws? I mean, he is. It is the iconic movie of your apex predators.
Oh, hell yeah.
Speaking of that, just read an article. They found a 21-foot on camera and tracking device of a great white off the Rhode Island shores that's
Shit.
migrating. Yeah, it's one that they track and stuff.
Now, now that, Wally, brother, you just made me think about something. Uh, there's been claims that they found, let's say, remnants of the megalodon, right? But then there's other
Yes,
parts of it saying that it was just an oversized great white.
there is actually shadows, everything else, but also people think it's a whale shark too, down off the coast of Mexico, in the Gulf of Mexico by the oil rigs. But there is signs because they have found remains of like a 16, 17-foot shark that's actually had half its body bit out, and they don't think it was killer whales. It wasn't an orca. But there's also been
Wow.
teeth found up on the shores too. Oh no, Robert, I remember Cujo. That made me fear, and a lot of people fear Saint Bernards for the longest time too. I mean, a lot of people because of Stephen King, but yeah,
Oh, same.
The Megalodon, and if you pay attention, yeah. Well, that you're right about that, Glick. But they said over by China and stuff, over by their nuclear plants and all that facility, there and throughout the ocean, there's creatures they're discovering that's coming from the depths that we can't even go through. That are
Pressure
coming up and
changes.
everything. Yeah, and then there's also the the reefs and everything out there in Australia, the coral reefs. There's still depths of the ocean that I mean, like I said, it's Glick brought it up, but yeah, there's so much stuff out there that's undiscovered because man can't go that deep.
W- Once again, the thing with the pressure change is forcing some of those species that can't deal with the pressure change to go higher up in elevation.
Well, not only that, the shifting in our plates and everything else. I mean, it's obvious. What's happening, brother? Yeah, the Kraken. Yeah, but no, they've been reports. I mean, more giant octopus and everything else popping up on the shores over there and everything.
Oh, for
Um,
sure.
with the Earth constantly changing and shit, it's making that stuff go.
Oh, for sure. Environment's changing.
Right. But yeah, I mean, but there's been back to the megalodon, but there has been
Yeah.
videos that they've had of oil rigs seeing, reminiscence of the shadows of what they believe would be some similarity to one still down in the Gulf Coast of Mexico and stuff.
Interesting that you say that. Some of this footage I've seen come from like I guess cameras that they sent down to like the bottom of these parts of the ocean and just
Right.
have them sit there. And on occasion, you'll see something like that swim up.
Yeah, there. It's just amazing what's not discovered in our ocean. All that
Oh,
what could be there.
indeed.
Well, and the way a lot of the animals adjusted to being in the dark, how they maneuver, everything else. I mean, there is species, so anglerfish are a prime example of that.
See that. You just made me think about something, Wally, brother. Chain organisms or colonial organisms.
Yep,
Oh, dude, I really get an interest out of those.
right. But yeah, it's cool. Megalodon's another good movie. Jason Statham did a hell of a job in that one, and
Oh,
that's
hell yeah.
basically so. Give me a second here.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, that movie was. I mean, that and like Deep Blue Sea, they kind of started with the genetically in that movie with the sharks making them their version of an apex predator, the way they could hunt. They were like a military experiment in that movie. So,
Right.
but yeah, Megalodon, it is known. I mean, they do have remains of ones that they found and everything else, and I still say there is a possibility it is out there.
Oh, for sure.
So,
For sure. See, the way I've seen it is, ironically enough, anything large enough or anything microscopic enough does just fine.
right.
It's this weird
But
middle
yeah,
ground where the pressure change affects it negatively.
yep. Well, and that's with that happening in the shift and everything too, is um, the shifting of the plates, us dumping the humans dumping toxic stuff into.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, there's so different things. See, what's another one? Trying to take care of another good one. But yeah, that was me. You thinking any other ones that you can think of right off the top of your head that piqued your interest?
Yes. I mean, there was that trope of I think it was called 47 meters down.
Yep, that's another one that's basically a spin off of the Megalodon.
Yup.
I was actually that was pretty cool. That was pretty good. I
I
liked it.
same. I thought it was a great take on the whole situation.
Well, they not only included the Megalodon in there. I mean, they included the giant octopus and a bunch of other known stuff that they've seen video of enough. But I mean, it was cool that they did that.
Well, like that, for instance, when it comes to um the giant squid, right? They've actually seen where these things have almost taken down sharks, whales.
And they've had them wash up on the shores over in the on the over in China and stuff. They've had remains wash up and stuff of big ones.
E- Yeah. I want to talk about Mother Nature creating some nightmares.
Oh yeah, we're Mother Nature's biggest nightmare though,
Oh, for real.
unfortunately. So, but yeah, that there's let's see what other one. See.
Oh,
Trying to
um,
think a couple other ones to think of.
uh, well, I'm trying to think because Britt mentioned the whole thing with the glowing krill.
Yeah.
Uh, I believe, if I remember correctly, I believe that plays off of an algae they fed off of.
Yep. That's right. Yeah, it is.
Bioluminescence, man. That's another amazing detail.
That's like too the making the how they made fun of doing the Sharknado stuff or the newest one I just recently watched a couple weeks ago. It's the Cocaine Grizzly Bear movie. Dude, I was like, you got to be shitting me. What kind
Oh,
of crazy shit they come up with? That was kind of whack.
oh, they have a series of those.
Yeah, not only the Grizzly, they got the, there's a new one I found. It's the Abominable Snowman that they did one.
What the shit?
Yeah, yeah, they've got a whole list of them. But yeah, we
I
can.
gotta look them up.
All right, but yeah, back to two. And I'll jump back to it. Like the Predator ordeal.
Yeah.
The way they mixed everything in, and I mean, the more the movies they did after the first two, like the one called Predator, where they were on that island, the way they did different animals that actually was a combination that they kind of it was like a to me a mixture of Avatar and the Predator Island. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
the new Badlands. But yeah, they're the Predator itself. The character just kind of entitles the reptile world. I mean
Oh, for sure.
the way it is with the heat seeking, other than the high powered weapons and shit. Other than that, but the way it tracks and everything else. So
Exactly.
have a good night, Brittany. We'll see ya.
But I could just see you.
But yeah, that's the thing. And there's actually a lizard in Australia that its mouth actually opens like in the Predator for a defense mechanism. Yeah, it's like an Omanami lizard or something, but it's an Australian species, and it actually opens its mouth and it has it just like the Predator does, and it's got little teeth and shit. It's pretty neat. So it's kind of a concept. It's like they made that movie not knowing that this animal actually exists with the same technique as the Predator when it opens up.
Oh,
So, but yeah, but yeah,
interesting.
I mean, just the concept for being in, especially back in the '80s like that. Looking at it now, that how it entitles in the reptile world. So I mean,
Oh, for sure.
then of course the cult classic. I like the live version of it. The Jungle Book detailing all with the tigers and everything else in it and stuff was pretty cool. See,
You know, that was probably one of the times where I've seen cinema's remake of, let's say, well, for instance, for example, the tiger not being glossed over by cinema. They actually pulled no punches and making it look rugged and wild. And
well, that's just like the Lion King when they made the live version of it. I mean, I wasn't a big fan, but the animals literally looked like you walked into the zoo. I mean, it was cool the way they did it. Um, but there's not a lot of movies out there that really kind of hit that natural habitat and behaviors other than like Lake Placid. Of course, Lion King because they hunt in packs and shit.
oh, for
But I
sure,
mean, just the techniques of the way the animals act act in the wild in
oh, for
real life.
sure.
So
They, they that whole live action Lion King, loosely, it was based on there was an actual lion that they were documenting that this lion just
it was
as
actually
far as
Scarface. They actually named him Scarface. It was based off.
young.
Yeah, there. He was in the safari of South Africa. That they. I mean, I guess he was known. I know what you're talking about now, but you can finish. I know what you're talking about. They just did a documentary on it.
Yeah, all I was gonna say is regarding that very documentary is this lion was held a record for holding the longest era of its pride together.
Right. Yeah, and I guess they said something I was reading. It said confirmed at least over 100 hyena kills, if not more. Plus, not
Yup.
only dominating, I guess, almost 150-mile radius there in Africa. For- And the only reason they found out, well, they found him, they ended up actually finding him. He was poached.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
I guess he was poached after all these years of them following him around and everything else. The scientists and shit and everything that knew about him. Yeah, I guess they ended up finding him. But there was also another lion and another pride too that had the similar scarring on his face. So, but it just didn't have the age of this lion.
Oh
But I think
wow.
it's cool. But I think it's cool that that was another thing that was out there.
Of
Um,
course.
it'd be neat to go over there. I just make sure I have a
Oh, for
machine
sure.
gun with me to be
Right. Talking
and a
about Apex
walking
Mother
cage.
Nature.
Yeah. You go to Africa, you are the food, no matter what you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Mother Nature does not hold back against itself over there.
Oh no. It's the survival of the fittest.
Indeed, it's a perfect example of it too.
Oh, especially in the droughts when when it's not the rainy season and stuff, and all the animals are crossing that the one main river where the Niles are at and shit. They call it Nile Alley. It runs the Nile
Hmm.
River and everything. They got a big documentary on that stuff where they filmed the droughts and shit.
Uh,
But yeah,
it's
Scarface is actually in the Lion King was actually supposed to be the hero, not Mufasa,
I've
because
heard
of the way
something
they
about that.
it was supposed to be the other way around.
Hmm.
But yeah, but yeah, Scarface is actually named after an actual lion that lived and survived, that dominated out there.
Wow.
So
What a legacy for an animal.
right.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there's some of them that it, like they did the movie Komodo based off of the
Oh,
Komodo dragons, and most of that movie was it was kind of point on it, but of course it was once again Hollywood. But at the same time, it gave the nature of the lizard, which is the largest lizard in the world. They are, and they're cannibals. They'll eat themselves. They'll eat their
oh,
own kind
yeah.
too because of the island that they're on.
Oh, yeah. Well,
But yeah, that movie Komodo was like a what they call the B series kind of movie. I think
oh,
they did a pretty good because it showed the aspect of the way they hunt and track everything. But it
hmm.
was a little overkill with the giant teeth and they do have saliva. Their saliva it has a venom in it, but the way they made it drool and shit, of course. But yeah, that's the way they are.
Right, right. Like you just said, they work more of like a with a toxin that actually seeps through their teeth.
Yep. And everybody for the longest time they thought it was actually like just a poison that was built up from bacteria and everything else when it's actually been proven in the zoos that they do have a venom in their saliva because it helps break down I guess part of the venom that they have it helps break down their food and everything else that they eat. So, and they're big time scavengers.
See, that anomaly right there has always amazed me. How, of course, there's venomous reptiles, but their venom to themselves does no. It's not made to affect them, only everything around them.
Right. Unless you're a king cobra, then that they can their own venom can actually it can end up actually if they're not careful and not taken care of, they can kill each other.
No shit.
Yep. Gen
Oh,
X Gen X asked, "Why do you look so familiar?"
oh. I've I've made my way around the YouTubes, if that's what you mean. Probably something about it there. Shit.
another movie
Make my
that
way around the community.
another movie that a lot of people look at, and one of the reptiles that was made famous was the bearded dragons in Holes, the movie Holes.
Mm-hmm. They, there was a story behind that that was like, I don't know if this was movie embellishment or nature factor, a fine line between both, but there was a whole plot behind that, that it was a certain subspecies of those, and with the venom that they had, highly venomous, certain species, subspecies of.
Nah, beardies are beardies are non-toxic reptiles. There is no subspecies that's uh, part of that family or anything else. There is only two known kind lizards on the face of the earth that has any venom or anything. That is a Gila monster and the Komodo dragon. That has actually been proven to have a venom. Other than that, most of the other shit's all all folklore and hoopla shit about them. So, but there is a lizard that has poison that they secrete from their skin, but not a venom. It's over in Thailand. It actually has a secretion kind of like a dart frog because it's like we were talking last week where it mimics and actually it eats the the poisonous frogs and stuff. So, but yeah,
Huh.
there's only two known kind on the face of the earth that actually has venom lizard wise, and that's the Gila monsters. Well, three, but it's still part of the family. The Mexican beaded lizard, which is the family, the Gila monster family, and the Komodo dragon. Those are the only ones that are known right now that actually has a venom that they use.
Huh.
See,
Wally, would you? Oh, I'm sorry.
did you see this? That's what Jen was asking. X was asking.
Oh, I I live I live in the north.
He's a northeasterner,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Shit.
but yeah, that's the. Then there's see what was a couple of the other, but yeah, that was one of the deals. Yeah, there's only three known venomous lizards that's on. Like I said, uh,
Well,
there is a couple. There is a couple that are poisonous because they secrete it through their skin and pores on their body.
were, were you talking about when you mentioned the one in Thailand? Were you talking about the tokays?
No, those aren't. No, I have one of those.
Oh. I was gonna say, I tried doing a little bit of research, and that's the best it brought up for me. But I didn't think that was correct either. Cause I've seen tokays, and I didn't think they were poisonous
No, I
venomous.
no, they're just very bitey and can be very vocal. I have one.
Ah,
So, but yeah, another movie that hit it on the head. Shit, I just had it and I forgot it. I can't remember now.
sorry, brother.
But yeah, I mean, Hollywood's hit it on the head with a lot of good, based off animal features and everything else, but also they put their twist to them and everything else,
Oh, for sure, for sure.
like snakes on a plane and shit like that. You know, different
Classic.
things. Oh yeah. Well, and then you got a lot of them out there. You see like these B-rated movies. It's done the movie Komodo.
Oh,
Um, they did they did one called Viper, which was like a cobra and everything kind of mixed with they colorized it as a python, a Burmese python, but except it hooded up and everything like a cobra does. It's one of those random. You can find it on YouTube. It's different.
um,
You can tell it's not a big time produced movie, but it was different.
I'll have to look at that one sometime. Interesting.
Yeah, and I just looked it up. There is 7 Lake Placid movies now total.
Oh my god.
No
See,
Gen X, I have not seen that yet. I want to see that.
mm,
The Popeye the Slayer man. But yeah, they there's a lot of cool ones. Yeah, I'd like to I've seen previews of it. It looks pretty good. They've really been doing a lot of spin-offs on that stuff, Jen. Um but But yeah, the Lake Placid movies they kind of overkilled with those too, like they do a lot of the other ones. They just won't let sequels die. Um, but yeah, back to what Johnny was saying. He looked up for tokays. I have one of those in my collections of pet reptiles and stuff. Took my wife a long time to get it to where he could be handleable. Now he's handleable and doesn't bite nearly as bad as he used to. I'll definitely have to check that out, Gen X Gemini. I'll check that movie out. Um, what else was it? Then they do, of course, your werewolf movies, everything else like that you got out there. But there's a lot of documentaries people can check out too if you're interested on the nature and stuff out there that they have. It's all over YouTube and everything like that. You can find. Um, they've also been seeing where a lot of the migration out in Yellowstone with the timber wolves and everything else, and the other animals, the elk and all that, and bears are moving around. But yeah, we there's a lot of cool things you can find out if you just take the time to research it. Oh, we'll go back to the Joel's movie. Um, yeah, that was definitely like Brittany said earlier, was a classic of all the animal movies were for the attack and everything else, and that does give a prime example of the nature of the sharks, especially with blood in the water and everything else. It's crazy how they can sense that from miles away. They're like a pack of wolves. A lot of them, travel together. Black tip reef sharks, just regular reef sharks. They all travel in schools basically. Let's see another one. Oh, another movie that they did. They actually did one of the orca Free Willy, based on actual facts of a orca being kept in captivity. I guess there's here not too long ago seen there was reports of the original orca that was based off of is still alive in the wild. Um, it's pretty cool to see that happen after all the years being trapped in that giant fishbowl, as everybody calls it. I know a lot of people are against and for uh, captivity and everything else. A lot of them, if we didn't have the captivity of some of these animals that are at zoos and everything else, and there wouldn't be any in existence. See you later, Gen X. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, they trying to repopulize a dwindling bloodline and everything else of the animals that are going extinct or almost extinct in the wild. So another one, movie wise, thinking of reptiles and stuff and actual history, the Jurassic Park movies, natures of the dinosaurs, uh, Earth's Earth's first giant reptiles and everything else. They did pretty good on some based off information Hollywood did when they made those movies. They were back then the true apex predator when they were roaming the earth and everything else. Um, a lot of them you see resemblance in a lot of the reptiles nowadays of their lifestyle between them and the crocodilians. Those are the longest living reptiles. Crocodilians are on the planet. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff that it piques my interest on a lot of them. So I try to share most of it here on the show when I do this show. But yeah, Jurassic Park kind of hit it to head with a lot of with their animals, the way they hunt, their pack presence, their dominance. It's pretty neat. But yeah, yeah, the animal kingdom's definitely something different and everything else for out there that is like Glick said earlier too. A lot of it's unstudied, especially in the ocean. Um, it's untapped. And a lot of people still don't understand the way a lot of these animals act, why they act the way they do in nature. But it's their instinct to survive, and we keep taking away their habitats, and a lot of people can't coexist with them, and that it's comes back to I've said it many a times before. People fear stuff they don't understand. Um, I get wildlife. I get wildlife. Your farmers stuff like that. I mean, I get things happen and shit there. That's understandable to an extent, but just to go out of your way to kill it because you don't understand it, it's kind of stupid in my eyes. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those deals. It's how you make it and how you were taught, how you were raised, what you believe. But if you would take the time to study and understand them, they're actually pretty amazing. So I think they're pretty cool. Um, oops. I think they're pretty cool that they do the things they do to survive. Like the Timberwolves, when they reintroduced them in Yellowstone. Yeah, I get they're causing issues now because they're getting overpopulated again. But it also helps the ecosystem when you have these predators. Um, Controls your pest, everything else. That's why snakes are good to have around to keep your rats away, your mice away. Mice are good to have. It's just a revolving circle around everything that Mother Nature intends. And right now, as it is, we are the top predator on the food chain. But at the same time, it just goes around. It's the way to survive on a lot of the stuff. So, see, anybody else got any questions or movies that they want to talk about or anything? Um, you're good, man. But yeah, I was just kind of filling in, talking about stuff the way Mother Nature, the circle of life, kind of works ordeal,
Oh,
and
yeah.
talking about that and talking about what people fear that they don't understand. I mean, the way it works. I mean, you look at it. You kill snakes. I get it. They're there. They're venomous. People fear them because they were taught to fear them. They weren't educated properly on the ecosystem. I get it to an extent, but at the same time, like I was saying, while you were gone, people kill animals out of fear. Um,
Right.
I get farmers and stuff with big farms and stuff, you know, trying to take care of their livestock and everything else. But a lot of people just kill for spite. Like we were talking, what was it last week? The rattlesnake roundup. They just do that shit for pure enjoyment.
And
That there's just stupidity.
well, without those rattlesnakes, the ecosystem would go nuts.
Without any snake, not only the rattlesnakes, your constrictor
Oh, for
snakes like
sure.
your king snakes, all that.
Yeah.
Unless like we've talked before, if you're in the Everglades with the Burmese python invasion.
Right.
But of course, that destroys an ecosystem. I mean, there is
Right.
control. You can control stuff, but at the same time, you gotta coexist. But we can't coexist with us keep taking what's not technically ours. The more we build, the more these animals is adjusting in our territory. So they're only trying to survive.
Right. And they're going to get more and more desperate trying to do so.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. The more you build, that's like there's a couple of the YouTubers I follow that do live in Florida. They're wanting to take and build a roadway through a section of the Everglades and put
Yeah.
housing in. They want to
God, I'm
do a
looking at
development.
that.
Yeah. You talk about these berms and these invasive species that people kept as pets and released, but yet you're wanting to put a divide in one of the largest ecosystems in the United States, in my opinion, water wise. is the Everglades, all you're doing is going to cause more problems.
the, the Earth has crucial ecosystems like that, of course, for a reason. So if that gets
Right.
upset on the balance of it, the world's going to get upset on the balance of it.
Well, that's just like out at Yellowstone too, the shifting of the plates with the largest volcano that's been inactive for all these years. It's causing the shifts in nature out there that they're migrating in different directions now because they it's amazing what animals can sense and they know
Oh,
something's
sure.
going on. So, but yeah, down there in Florida with that, if they cut that in half, I mean, there's going to be there's going to be a lot of more pissed off and dead animals moving into the in our territory that was originally theirs because all it's after is people after the money and everything else building this shit.
Oh. They then move into our territory that we've made, and of course, we're going to respond like they aren't supposed to be there, and it's just
Right,
going to end badly.
right, and that's the shitty part. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, I get it. Like overseas, you see. I mean, there's the poaching to make money off of the lions and all this shit that gets poached, but at the same time, it's not a uh, like the black rhinoceros. That's a prime example. They were poached to extinction in the
Right.
wild.
In no way was that
So,
sustainable.
no, and that's the thing. That's where it comes back into the greed.
So I'm actually glad you mentioned that, Wally, brother. So, as many species that have gone either extinct or functionally extinct, imagine the world that we would have had with all of the species that have already gone extinct, already having, well, let's say if we go back in time a little bit, the ecosystem that we would have is totally different if we had all the species that, of course, hadn't gone extinct.
Right. Well, and the thing of it is we're the humans are a lot of the cause for it.
Yeah.
And some of the things is a lot of the natives back to the Everglades. A lot of the native species that they're losing down there is because of that hurricane and
Yes.
irresponsible people, but a majority of it's from when that hurricane hit that breeding facility.
Excuse me. Yes, sir. That,
So
that shifted the tide of things a lot.
right. Well, but and then like in South Carolina and stuff, you're no longer allowed to have black and white tegus anymore, which was a common tegu because people were releasing them and they adjusted to live in the wild. So now they got a thing where just like Florida with the Burmese and shit, you get paid, get on a list, and you get paid to go hunt them and remove them, kill them and remove them, or you can have a facility yourself if you're licensed, like a zoo type deal. But majority of the time they're paying because they've gotten so used to adjusting to their habitats that they're overrunning and taking over the local animals that are disappearing.
Uh, I'm seeing, I
Just
don't
like,
know about you, brother, but I'm seeing a pattern with that.
oh yeah, well, it's the thing. People in the reptile community over the years, you see a lot of people impulse buy. Oh, that's a cute little animal. Doesn't do the research, and then they realize, oh fuck, I got a 6 foot lizard or 8 foot lizard
Mhm.
with tail to, or a big snake
Mhm.
and everything else. So what do we do? Oh, instead of trying to sell it or give it to, donate it to somewhere, oh, we're just going to take it and turn it loose.
Exactly. There's overpopulation for supply and demand, and then to cull that out, it's all of a sudden how to do extinction. There's no
Right.
happy foreground.
No, there's nothing for that. Well, that's like just recently. One of the guys I follow that I sent you the links at Chandler's Wildlife. Um,
Okay.
he he just had the Florida Fish and Wildlife bring him 4 red-tailed boas that they caught in the wild that was released.
Oh,
That because people got irresponsible, and one of them she was about 7 foot long. That yeah, because he's a licensed keeper and he's got a facility zoo type deal. They gave him the option to take it, but yeah, they found him actually in the wild. That shows you how irresponsible people are in Florida with their animals. Not only
yeah. See,
there, but other place too.
I don't think they're a native to there.
No, They're they're
Wow.
mostly down like in Brazil and everything else is where they're originally from, down in South America.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all over the place. There's even up here in Ohio, man. There's been people's found seen the up north during the summer. People found a couple ball pythons that was released. Somebody just turned loose in a park, in a park. Yeah,
God.
it's just irresponsible. That's what it is.
Well, ball pythons, if I'm correct, if you have had them, of course, bred generations in captivity, they're gonna forget how to hunt on their own. Yeah.
No, they're
No.
actual natural instincts, dude.
Okay.
Those things, they're just like anything else. Yes, they may be bred over years and years and years, but they still have that mentality. There's still that switch in their head that they can hunt, but it's not uh, as It's not as progressive and like it is in the wild. But it's still there's that instinct in all these animals' heads, just like dogs. You ever notice they travel in packs if they're strays?
Oh,
That's part of the wolf nature. That's where
yeah.
dogs came from. That and it's over years and years, but yet they still know to travel in packs. Snakes and shit are the same way. Lizards are the same way. You're gonna survive. Just like with cats. Motherfucking people letting their damn cats out because they don't want them no more because they won't get them declawed and stuff. They're another one that's hurting the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Half the time they half the time they just kill birds and shit just because they want to.
Yeah. Right.
But every animal still has the natural instinct from over the history of their genus that's out there. It's always going to be there.
Interesting with that. No matter how much we try to domesticate something, it still has
It's
fruit.
always it's still got the wild in them. It does not matter what it is.
Why I'm amazed when I see people. Well, once again, doing the selective breeding and thing for
Right.
let's say for the mentality part. That's where I've come to understand it. On that point, it's like, dude, I don't get what you're trying to achieve here. It's always going to be what it was.
Yeah, it's just one of those deals. We have learned to profit off of this as humans. So we make take something that's normal, make it add some pretty colors because you're adding this gene or that gene or this and that. And but no matter how many years, whatever down the road, they're always going to have that instinct. It doesn't matter how if you've had something for 20 some years and it's docile, all it takes is one thing to trigger that memory of the wild, and it's going to do that. Like defensive mechanisms, the striking out, the biting, shit like that, man. That's part of nature, no matter what.
If I
That's
may,
why, yeah. Go ahead.
uh, to an extent, if we look at certain uncharted tribes and things like that, humans, one of the most built up species of all, can be like that if you put them out in the middle of nowhere for long enough.
Right. You learn to survive, but just a
Good point.
natural instinct. The animal kingdom is truly the dominant kingdom
Oh,
in
I agree.
everything. It don't matter, like you said, domesticated or not. They're always going to have that genus of that nature of the wild still intact in their brain.
Right.
It may not be the main focus up here, but it's still back here in the back,
Right.
and it doesn't matter what it is.
Hmm. Interesting. It goes to show society. Well, society, if we even include animals in that society as a whole, on progression versus just tailoring.
Right. Basically, all we're doing is calming the situation by domesticating it. Other than that, it's always there. It doesn't matter. Like I said, stray dogs all make a pack. You always got that one alpha. It doesn't matter what it is. You see it all the time, especially out in the country. They always
And
run 4 or 5 deep, if not more.
if you let them in that setting long enough, they'll return right to being feral.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. That's that wolf pack mentality, the coyote mentality, but it all comes from the wolves on the dog
Mhm.
side. But
Just
yeah,
saying.
I mean that I mean that's the thing that's neat about the animal kingdom. And like you said, it don't matter how domesticated you make the animals, they're always going to have it. And I don't care. Like in the ball python world, you got
Yeah.
fuck 100 different genes out there now, but they're still going to always be like the normals in the wild, still have that instinct of to survive.
See.
Lizards are the same way. I don't care if you hatch them. I've
Yeah.
seen videos of where they've had hatched of the uh, croc monitors, Nile monitors. They still got the mentality of like they are in Asia in the wild, the water monitors. They still got that mentality.
Oh, for sure.
They're very intelligent animals. They're not stupid like people think they
Oh.
are.
See, so that was actually something that I heard a little bit about lately. Is that of course they're intelligent, but it's come to show that reptiles, and this has been a standing joke, if you will, that reptiles don't have an emotional spectrum. They do. It just works way differently than, let's say, us humans or canines or primates of anything of that emotional spectrum. They have theirs, but it's way different
Right.
than any of those.
Theirs is body language,
Yes.
especially in the snake world. Well, lizard.
Oh yeah.
Well, reptile wise, either way, it's body language, head movement, everything like that. So, I
I
mean,
think that's
if
what
you
we were
don't,
talking about last time.
but yeah, when I was on up there on your channel, we were talking about. But yeah, it's one of those deals. You have to study, be calm, let the animal come to you. Don't force the situation. I mean, it don't matter what it is. Bearded dragons, corn snakes, king snakes, ball pythons, anything. They're always going to be defensive. They're not angry. They're defensive because they're scared. That's why you constantly work with them. But in the lizard world, when you deal with lizards, you have to have them come to you.
Um, it, like you said, it all goes back to understanding a different spectrum of emotions.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Well, that's what I mean. I love about watching new people. My YouTube guys I watch that deals with reptiles and stuff. Um, over in New Hampshire, that Kevin McCurley at Nerd. He's
Yeah,
known as the water. He's like the animal whisperer of the reptile community, man. He breeds. You need to check him out sometime. Dude, the way he is with
yeah.
the Nile monitors. Oh, go ahead, Johnny.
I'm sorry, brother. I'll only be a minute.
You're good.
Thank you.
But but yeah, the guy, dude, he is just phenomenal with the way he handles animals. Um, he takes what most people, like I said, fear and everything else, and that are well known to be bitey, everything else, and turns them into what he considers puppy dog tame. But at the same time, he understands the concept of them and everything else that to make them semi docile, as you want to call it. But they still have that instinct and everything else that's me and Johnny were talking about. That they learn to survive. Yeah, it's called Nerd. New England Reptile Distributor. Kevin McCurley. He's one of my idols. He was originally a big, huge ball python breeder. Now has gone on to breed Nile and water monitors and stuff and everything to work with them. He's working on all different types of stuff. Check out his YouTube channel. It's called Nerd. It's pretty cool. Got a lot of neat information. Very educational. But yeah, he's shown me a lot of stuff with animals, the way to handle them, and to get them to earn your trust. That's like Tom Crutchfield, the godfather of the herpiculture side, reptiles keepers here in the United States. Um, when the kep and keeper become one, then both have won. And that man has been bitten multiple times by croc monitors, cobras, different things. It's just where you coexist and work together with them and everything that helps out. But yeah, it is. It's an amazing thing if you can overcome your fear and understanding of these creatures. I mean, you'd be amazed, even if you just observe them from afar, not even keeping them. It's very neat the way Mother Nature does things. So, but yeah, it's very cool. It can get very expensive, especially depending on what you want and everything else. Um, and the facility, the size of the spaces you want to keep the gotta have for them, the feeding, all that stuff. But yeah, they are very interesting, just like fish. You got all different types: saltwater, freshwater, brackish water. Anything you do is going to be expensive. It's just what you make of it. Do your homework, study it, check it out, and everything else, and just understand what you're dealing with and make it work. It's how much time and effort you want to put into the stuff to succeed. And it's not just animals, it's motorsports, it's life in general. I mean, it's just all around one of those deals. Put the time in, you get what time you put in is what results you get. And if you don't change it around and stuff, it makes it more difficult. So, but yeah, I mean, it's cool. But if you ever want to get into it and need questions asked, just ask. And if I don't know the answer, I got connections. I can get answers for keeping animals or whatever, or even if it's motorsport stuff like on my Monday night show. Um, but yeah, you got anything else you want to add, Johnny, before we wrap this up, buddy, and call it a night so you can do on your side your show?
Uh, I am good. I gotta say. Thank you once again. It's been another productive one.
Yeah, like I said, everybody, welcome to my co-host on Thursday nights when he's available. I'm gonna have Johnny up here with me on this stuff, and
Be happy to.
I appreciate everybody that was in the chat tonight, talking and asking questions and hanging out with us. Um, I Tomorrow night is movie night with Michael and friends. Saturday is nonsensical network where we open the door up and let everybody come in and hang out. Just be decent, keep your clothes on. Sunday
Be there as
is
well.
Sunday is unnecessary roughness with Rick and Glick. They talk all things foosball and sports. Monday night, I'm back here with you guys with Speedway stories. I'm gonna hopefully have a former guest. I'm gonna get a hold of him, try to have him up and talk. See how his race season ended up for him and everything else. I know talking to him on the side, he had some car issues, but I'm gonna get a hold of him and try to have him come up Monday night. Um, Hopefully Tuesday night, Glick's got his stuff in line um, for Glick's House of Music. Then Wednesday night is Michael and Brittany with Hump Day Ha-Has. And then we're back here Thursday night with Cold Blooded Conversations with me and Johnny. You guys all have a great evening. Thank you for tuning in. Johnny, once again, brother, thanks for coming up and
Always a
accepting your
pleasure.
surprising you on the podcast with becoming my co-host on Thursday nights, dude. I appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning in. You guys have a great evening. Johnny, I'll catch you later on, buddy.
Catch you on the next one. Thank you, brother.
All right. Yep. Later.
Later, later.
Yeah. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in and everything else. And appreciate y'all. You guys have a great evening, and I'll catch you Monday night.